Good morning. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. How are you?
How's your reno coming?
My what?
Renovation?
Oh gosh, it's done-ish. Well, no, it's not done, but the wall's done. Now we have to do electrical. Do you want to see what I did yesterday though?
Yeah, girl.
You're gonna die. Hold on one second. You did, little baby.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't he cute?
Oh, is
Say
he?
hi, Blue.
He's so fresh. He looks like a new puppy.
He's it's okay. He's 3 months old.
Oh my God, his skin looks so, or his little fur looks so soft. How
I was just
sweet.
hold on, Ace. Shush. Oh, gosh. He is hold on, he's so wrinkly. Look. He's got like all this like loose.
Oh, the folds are the best.
It is so cute. You're the best boy. You're such a good boy.
Oh, what nice family time to enjoy the new puppy.
He is so cute. I figured it would be a good time to get one since we have summer and the kids are home. So
Oh,
you take a nap. Good boy.
sweet. Congratulations. That
Thank you.
fills the emptiness of the house too, right? With the other one gone.
Yeah. I mean, Ace, I feel like Ace doesn't really like quite know what to do with himself yet, you know, like with him, but he likes him. So he'll get there.
Well, all right, ladies, welcome to week 9. This is so
Woohoo.
exciting. I'm so excited because I feel like this is the fun part. Like this is like work, but it's like in the beginning, it's just like a lot of breath work, a lot of moving, and you're like, okay, did I sign up for a yoga class or did I sign up to get stronger? This is the strength part. This is getting fun.
Awesome.
So, um, we're gonna work on hamstring, like making your hamstrings really strong and then getting your glutes really strong. So that's gonna be the focus of the exercises today. I do just want to like, as we're ending, like moving into like this, what I call like May mayhem. It's like insane. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like May is like December, right? It's just
Oh,
oh, and like I'm getting over a cold. I'm like 8 days now. I feel like hopefully I sound better than I did last week. But you know, when you get run down, you cough, and that I don't know if you might not know, but coughing is extremely hard on your pelvic floor. You can actually give yourself a prolapse from exasperated coughing. And when you have babies, coughing is hard on your pelvic floor. It exasperates the pelvic floor. And sometimes there can be leaking that happens with coughing and vomiting as well. So I want to just transition in here to just like give a quick little lesson on when we get sick, how to care for your body so that you're not having to experience that. Or if you are, you have the tools to manage it. So jaw tension, if you are like, this is a busy, stressful time of year for you, like it is me, jaw tension is related to pelvic floor tension. So if you are someone who clenches at night, and it might not be every night, it might just be seasonal, that is going to affect your pelvic floor. And we've already learned that if you have a hypertonic or an overtense pelvic floor, you are more susceptible to leaks throughout the day with impact. And impact can be jumping, skipping, it can be a cough, it could be a sneeze. So just a show of hands or a thumbs up, like who experiences jaw tension or clenching at night?
More probably during the day than at night.
Oh, during the day.
Yeah, because sometimes I think when I'm like thinking, or I'm like driving, I think I clench. But I do because I sometimes have to get my chiropractor to like
Really?
loosen it up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So we're all clenchers here and we all have like pelvic floor issues. So I want us to take this as a reminder that when you notice that, it is directly linked to your pelvic floor. You might even notice that depending on how tense you're experiencing your clenching, you might notice like you have more bathroom trips or you have more urgency or you have more leaking or you might just feel more tension down there. So some things that work for me really well is to relax. Like to take some deep breath because a calm breath makes for a calm mind. And if you have a calm mind, it makes for a calm body. Also foam rolling, like you can actually take the that roller, looking around, I don't know where my roller is, but that little like foam ball, and you can do the same thing on your jaw. I'll get some maybe videos to you guys and send it in a WhatsApp later today.
Like the
But, like,
Theraball?
yes, the Theraball, just
Oh,
like what
okay.
Suki is doing. And just like what we do on your glutes, like hold it there for 30 seconds to a minute and then start moving it around. I mean, I guess I'm even doing it with this and it feels good, but the ball sometimes just feels like someone else's touch, you know? So getting things to relax, release. Now your dentist might say, okay, no one's husband is a dentist, right?
No, no.
I want to make sure I'm not going to offend anybody.
Not mine.
So your dentist is going to say, oh, let's give you a mouth guard. Well, a mouth guard doesn't prevent against you clenching. A mouth guard will prevent against you grinding, and that will help your teeth if you're a grinder, but the mouth guard doesn't help you to stop clenching. The clenching comes from where we hold our tension, where we hold our stress, and that's mental, and then that transfers here, and then it transfers into our pelvic floor. And sometimes you might not get a heads up, like you might not notice that you're stressed or tensed. You might just like wake up and you're like, oh my God, I clenched my jaw all night last night. And in that instance, you're going to have to work on the opposite end, which is on the defense, and just try to relax. But if you know you had a tight, tense, or stressful day, or you're overloaded, doing some calm, deep breaths at night. Like my thing is like five long, slow, deep breaths. And it doesn't always happen, but on the nights that I do them, I don't clench. And I'm not a clencher all the time. It's more like intermittently, like seasonal, like right now, there's a lot going on. But just know it does affect your pelvic floor. And you can work both, opposite. You can like lengthen and stretch your pelvic floor with some of those hip openers, and that will help with your pelvic, your tension of your jaw. But typically jaw tension is related to mental stress, and that pulls down into your pelvic floor. Which then, if you have, you know, the cycle continues. So then you have a hypertonic pelvic floor that you've exasperated, and then you cough or you sneeze, or your kid asks you to like chase them down the slide, and then or down the park, and you like have a leak accident. So one of the things you can do with a cough or a sneeze is to do what's called the knack, K-N-A-C-K. And that's when you feel it coming on, like you'll feel, okay, I think I have a sneeze, or, oh, I think I'm gonna cough. And you're gonna do what we've done the whole lesson, and that's to brace your core, so contract at the vagina, wrap and engage the abdominals, so lift that trampoline, engage the pelvic floor, tighten the springs around the pelvic floor, and then cough. And you're gonna feel a lot less downward pressure when you prepped and prepared your body with the support for your core. So inhale, feel a cough coming on, exhale, contract. Versus if you don't, you're gonna, and there's downward pressure on your pelvic floor. Just try it. Just, I mean, don't overdo it because I don't want you to actually leak, but just relax, don't engage. You can even see in my stomach because I'm lean. I get close. When I cough without protecting it, you can see I'm slightly bulged right here. But when I contract and support it, do you see how it's not bulged?
That's wild. What a difference.
Yes.
It keeps it up in your diaphragm.
You're offering support. You're like trampling, you're tightening the springs of the trampoline so that when you're jumping on it, there's less impact. So that works for a cough, that works for a sneeze, that works for a jump. Like if you're about to like jump on a trampoline or a skip, like I'm gonna go into like running.
What would, Cara, sorry, just real quick. Not that I have any plans of running because my knee is not capable anymore, but if I were to eventually start running again, because that's always when I would like leak in addition to coughing and sneezing, how would you do that and still be able to like breathe properly?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
So I'm actually going to go into like running stuff and like prepping for running next week.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. No, it's a good question because we're talking about impact and stuff and how to brace and support. So basically, the quick version is there's slight tension on your core, right? You're never just like running sloppy. You have a little bit of tension relative to the demand placed upon it. And just like if you were to go upstairs or lift something heavy, there's an exhale with each little like micro step. Now it's not an inhale exhale because that means you're going to hyperventilate. But when you inhale, there's still tension on your core. It's just light. But you really need to be able to maintain the stack of your ribs with your hips. So that's foundational. Being able to maintain this stack will help your diaphragm communicate better with your pelvic floor. So if you're a runner and you run like this, which is really common, the anterior pelvic tilt, ribs up, there's going to be some leakage problems. Maintaining the stack, and then really bulletproofing your hamstrings and your glutes to be able to support the pelvis. And we'll go into some of those exercises on week 10, which will help support your body for impact, because that is impact. Today, vomiting, that was another thing, like cold and flu season, I feel like this is the peak before it gets quiet. Vomiting is really aggressive on your pelvic floor. Like it's really aggressive on your pelvic floor. It's a lot of downward pressure. So if you feel like you know you're going to vomit, engaging your adductors, so like squeezing a block before you do that, or you might, sometimes you don't get it noticed, like squeezing a towel or something close by will help wrap and protect that core and pelvic floor. But really, it's different than you need a little bit more structural support than just the neck, because vomiting is so aggressive and just a lot of downward pressure. So vomiting sometimes in an all-fours position, so you're taking some of that downward pressure and that gravity off of your pelvic floor in an all-fours position, and then really squeezing and then doing the neck. So squeeze, 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 lift, contract, if you can, in a perfect, in the moment, if you can. It will definitely help to prevent an accident on both ends. Do you love that we're talking about this? I wish somebody would have talked to me about this.
I was just about to say, I actually am very thankful that you're talking about it, because literally the worst times I feel like in my life were when I was pregnant or postpartum and had the flu or food poisoning or a cough. In fact, literally last Christmas, I coughed. I had like bronchitis and I coughed so bad for like 6 weeks. All I did was pee my pants. I felt like I was wrapping gifts for the kids at Christmas and I was like peeing the rug like a dog. I was like so miserable and mortified. It was the most frustrating thing. And I didn't know any of this stuff. I had no idea that when you cough, you're like, I probably did give myself prolapse with how bad I was coughing for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, repetitive impact and downward pressure on your pelvic floor exasperates and makes things weak. If someone were to like just repetitively like chop at your bicep, after a while, that would be really tender and bruised, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for saying that. I'm sorry that you went through that. And just know, like, I've been through that. That's why this is important for me to talk to you girls about, is because women go through this stuff and we just hide in our closets and keep it quiet and think it's just us or something's wrong with us. And it is a really degrading feeling to feel like I'm peeing my pants and I'm not geriatric yet. But we just haven't been taught the skill set of how to offer support.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Moving on. Any questions about any of that stuff? Okay. Hamstrings and glutes. So, okay, sometimes getting the glutes to turn on can be really difficult for a lot of women. And a lot of that has to do with our stack, okay, our ribs in alignment with our pelvis, also being able to hinge. Now, there's different ways you can get your pelvis to hinge, okay? You can get your pelvis to hinge like leading with your back. That's a hinge. Now, ideally, I'd like it to be a little bit more, but you can hinge in this way. You can hinge leading with your glutes by having a nice neutral spine right here. And you can hinge by leading with your, like lengthening your hamstrings. But the hinge allows us to have better activation of our glutes. Sometimes over tight hip flexors from living in a tucked pelvis position or an anterior pelvic position will pull that alignment, will misalign that alignment, and then we have a hard time activating their glutes. Like when you guys, maybe even just 6 weeks ago, when you were doing lunges, would you feel them more in your quads or your glutes? Probably quads.
Quads, always, yeah.
So we have
I think that's why I hate lunges so much, because my quads are like dead quickly. I'm like, this hurts.
Yeah, I hate having sore quads. Like I got to use my legs, right? So checking in, making that a habit of like, where is my alignment of my ribs with my pelvis? That's like, having good self-service. Like you have to have good self-service to be able to communicate with who you're calling. And like your ribs over your pelvis is how your diaphragm is able to communicate with your pelvic floor. So learning how to master your stack. And then where do you feel your body weight? So if you were to stand up, oftentimes if you are like someone who's a little bit more anterior, they might feel more of their body weight on their toes. If someone who's a little more posterior might feel their body weight in their heels. And then some people will just be like, well, I'm posterior, but I lock. And so then you feel it on your toes. So the point of bringing this up is, do you remember a couple lessons back where I was like, okay, you want to find a neutral balance with your feet. Posture starts in your feet. We talk about it a lot with the shoulders and the ribs and the pelvis, and that's all posture, but posture also starts in your feet. So where you're holding your weight, if you have that pencil from your toes all the way to your heels, and then imagine you're gripping that pencil from your big toe to your pinky toe. Now you're engaging the muscles of in and around your pelvis. You're putting your legs in a neutral position, and you're not collapsing into your knees or your feet. Things should feel a lot lighter. You have a natural arch in your feet. Okay, so glutes. I am going to do, this is probably the only glute med exercise I'm going to do for you. Now, a glute med exercise you'll see a lot as like abductions or clamshells. And I think I talked about this a couple weeks ago. It's a great exercise to engage and stabilize the glute med. But what the glute med does is it externally rotates your hips. That's what this tiny little sweep of tissue right here does. It externally rotates your hips. So it does stabilize the pelvis, but most of you live in this externally rotated position from baby carrying, baby wearing, and your feet are just slightly turned out. So I feel like I see it a lot, and I want to be really cautious in sharing it because yes, it's a good exercise, but it's not my favorite for glutes, just as long as you know that it doesn't get the whole glute. It just gets the glute med. But I'm going to demo it, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with a block so that we can get a little bit more length in that posterior glute area. So you've probably seen it like this. Everyone's seen these before, fire hydrants? I'm sure you have. Or clamshells. I'm going to show it to you up on a block because it is a great exercise for stabilizing this portion of the pelvis. There are better exercises to get the glute max, and that's what you girls need to activate, is more supportive of your glute max. That is the biggest, hunkiest, chunkiest muscle of your glute, and that's the one we want to turn on the most. So in a all fours position, I'm going to have you start in a hip hinge so that you can get length back here. Hip hinge, abduct. Hip hinge, abduct. And as I'm abducting, I'm keeping, oh, you can't see, so sorry. I'm keeping tension on the band. So I'm never like coming in too much to where there's a rest. And I'm trying not to lean this leg over to the side. Hip hinge, abduct. Hip hinge, create length. Core strength as you lift that knee, and abduct. And I gave you the block. You can do that on the floor, but I do. Sometimes I feel like just being a little bit elevated prevents you from like leaning. It's mostly like a visual thing of like if you sweep to the side, the knees doesn't naturally want to touch the floor. I'm gonna blow some of you up and like peek at you. Okay, I'm watching Suki. Hinge, abduct. Good. And as you abduct, Suki, you're just trying to avoid leaning the stabilizing leg to the side. And think about this as like a movement that has many different components, different layers to it. So hinge, abduct, release. So as you lift the leg up, you feel the core on the left side stabilizing. And as you abduct, you're trying not to lean. So good, Julie, watching you. And there's constant tension on the band so that the stabilizing leg is actually working as well. Okay. And Sarah, if this hurts your knee, Sarah, you could do this standing. I do think that it gets a little better kneeling, but if it bothers your knee, you can do it standing and abduct. That way you're still getting this hip hinge. Okay, we got that one? Looks good.
Yeah.
Again, I hope you guys know I'm not knocking that exercise. I wouldn't put any exercises in here that are not amazing for you, but I just I want you when you're like looking at other people,
on the table,
watching
on the
stuff
counter.
on social media,
I'm doing my exercise, Ben.
exercise is not the holy grail for pelvic floor. It supports it, but it's not the main piece. Okay. Glute max. Press. All right, I forgot to tell you guys to get like a chair or a bench. You guys, let me show you the exercise and maybe you can like round up a little chair. We're gonna do some hip thrusts on a bench, a chair, a step stool, whatever. You got it. My bench. Okay. So this allows you to work more of in a negative space. So I've got my chair or my bench in the middle of my back, kind of at my bra line. And when you're in this negative position, my glutes are in a hinged position. Remember I was just talking about how the hinge allows us to have more activation of our glutes. Heels are going to be underneath your knees. If the heels are too far away, you're going to work more your hamstrings. So pull those heels right underneath your knees. And then inhale, let things stretch. Your gaze should be right towards your belly button. So if we gaze up, we'll get this rib flare or the pelvis. Just you don't get enough activation from the upper body to engage the lower body. Think about scooping, like putting your pelvis in a posterior pelvic tilt, so pulling your pubic bone towards your belly button. Then inhale, lower. I'm light on my toes. My toes are there for balance and support. And if you were to put your hands on your booty, you should feel them engaging. Check in with your knees. Sometimes we will, because we're external rotators, our knees will go outward. So if that's you, put a ball or a block in between your knees so that you can get the most out of this. Your adductors are huge supporters to engaging your glute max. You should not be feeling this in your low back. Your pubic bone is pulling towards your belly button. Your gaze is towards your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Let the pelvis drop so that you're getting into that hinge. Exhale. Rise. Inhale. Exhale, press into the heels. Tactile feedback. Check with your glutes. I'm going to watch a couple of you. I'm going to watch you girls. I want you to do a few more. And then I'm going to ask you where you feel this. Okay. Good. Gaze, Julie, still stays at the pubic bone as you lift those hips. And Lindsay. Okay, Sarah, I'm watching you. Inhale, lengthen. Good. Knees stay in alignment with the hips. Suki, close your stance a little bit. There. Inhale, lengthen. And Suki, gaze down towards your belly button. Yes, now lift those hips. Okay, weights in the heels. Your toes are there for support, but you can wiggle your toes. Okay, if you feel this in your glutes, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down.
My glutes and my front.
You feel it in your hip flexors?
I like feel it over here too, like just my
Okay, yours is in your hip flexors. Okay. Lindsay, you feel it in your glutes. Julie, how about you?
Kind of feeling it like it's in my glutes, but it kind of goes down my
Your
like
hamstring?
into here.
Okay. Sarah, how about you?
I wasn't feeling it anywhere quite yet. I feel like I needed a few more reps before I could figure out where I was feeling it. I was kind of also distracted because I was trying to figure out where the edge of my bench should be sitting on my back.
Oh, okay. So your back, it should be right at about bra line. So like mid thoracic.
Bra line. Okay, that's what I think that's where I was. I was a little too low my first couple.
Suki, can you try one leg?
Is that to me or Suki?
But you can all try it because it's in the program. You can all try it.
Okay.
But sometimes if you lean on one side rather than the other, it will mask, it will force work, right? All right.
Yeah, I can feel that in my glutes more now.
Okay. Okay.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah,
Definitely.
that's-
Julia, it's a thumbs up, more in your
Yeah.
glutes.
Yes.
Okay. Unilateral exercises are like magic. They just they don't allow your body, they allow for less compensation. Okay. So do a few, and then I want you to do a few on the other side and notice if there's discrepancy. And the things I want you to focus on when you're doing this is your gaze. Your gaze is really important in this movement. So your gaze is facing towards your belly button. You're scooping your pelvis, pulling that pubic bone towards the belly button. Heels are underneath your knees. And I love how Julie's grabbing her butt. That's what I do when I work out, just to like tactile feedback, touch, and presence make a difference. When I'm training clients, touch, because then they can feel where they're supposed to be feeling it. Lindsay, how's that feel for you?
Yeah, good.
Amazing. Okay, and when you're doing single leg work, you should feel those adductors engaging and supporting yourself more.
Yeah.
And the strength, better strength of your adductors makes for a better strength of your transverse abdominal.
Oh,
And it also helps more with leaking. Are you okay?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. I should have muted. I'm a loud one.
I just know you have a knee injury, so I'm like, oh man, I hope that didn't like.
Oh no. The knee is.
And glute press. Okay, let's move on. So that would be called a single leg glute thrust, or single leg hip thrust. So with your band, I'm gonna lace it across, kind of even, Steven here. Hinge.
Cool.
So getting into that hinge position, try not to arch in the back. Shoulders are pulled down and back, keeping lots of space from the shoulders and the ears. And I'm gonna press straight back. You're gonna feel this in your hamstrings and your glutes. But to get those glutes to fire a little more, I want you to mentally think about your glutes, so mind and muscle work together, and think about flexing or engaging your glute before you press. So here's the difference. Watch the bubble in my glute. So if I just press, it's like that. But if I think about flexing and engaging the glute first, and now it's flexed and it's engaged, can you see how there's more of a bubble there? You might not, but okay. So I'm not gonna engage the glute first. I'm just gonna press for the sake of moving. Press. Now I'm gonna flex the glute before I add movement. It's flexed, it's flexed, it's flexed, it's flexed. Can you see more of a bubble? Okay, well, if you rewatch this tape. So hips stay in alignment. So Sarah, pull that right hip down a little bit more. It wants to open. Yes. And then
So maybe go lower, like kick lower, try not to kick so high.
No, you can kick high, but start a little higher. So you're bend your ankle so it's in line with your knee. Yes. Now exhale, press. Yes. Flex the glute, then add movement. So you can.
I don't know how to flex my glute. How do you do that?
Okay. So that's a
clench. Like how do you?
You kind of like if you were to flex your bicep. That can you like?
Oh, okay.
You just squat and like engage, like turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I think about pressing the glute first. And then press. So I wore my shortest shorts so you guys could all get a good look at my booty today.
I'm also wearing very short shorts.
So nothing, but now I'm flexing. Nothing. Flexing. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Nothing. Flexing. Hips stay in alignment. Sometimes that hip wants to open. Yes. Flex the glute, then add movement.
I find it easier to flex the leg I'm standing on rather than the leg that I'm trying to exercise.
Okay, and that's a good awareness that you brought to us, and that's because there's resistance. This stabilizing leg has something to feed off of and push off of. So push a little more into the band that you're trying, into the foot with the band that you're trying to flex.
Okay, yeah.
Can you see that? So for years, we've been doing lunges quick and fast to try to keep up with the pace of class. We haven't been taught to get the glutes to fire first. I want you to get your glutes to fire first and then add movement. We've got to reprogram those neuromuscular connections. Julie, how you doing?
Sorry, I'm wearing black. I know you can't see it, but I'm feeling it.
Okay, Lindsay?
I feel it, but I feel it more like by my knee, like in here.
Ooh.
Like in a good way, like adductors?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let me watch you talk a little bit so that you blow up big on my screen.
Oh,
it's not a bad thing. I mean, your adductors. Okay, close your right hip a little bit more. So pull that right hip down to there. Yes. Is that band pretty tight?
I tried both. I don't know. One's supposed to be light, one's supposed to be medium. The blue is way too intense, so this is the lighter one.
Okay.
Do you think it's too strong?
It does look too strong. It looks like
Yeah,
you're like
having to push it.
Yeah, it feels like you
okay.
have to push it with your hip to get it out.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get a better band probably. I think I think you're right. I think it's too much resistance.
Do you have a band like this?
Yes, I have one of those.
Okay.
Yeah. Get that.
Great. And Suki, how are you doing right now with feeling it in the?
I think I can feel it a little bit more on that side, but still more here. But I definitely had to create more resistance in like the band. Do I need to like
choke up?
Is that what? Okay. And then do you know when you're on the bench, like you look like this, like pretty level. So does it matter how high or low what you're leaning on?
Oh, when I'm here, oh, That could be a really great question. So if you're too elevated like this, you'll feel this more in your hamstring. Yeah, so if you can get a little lower, because here I'm in this nice hinge. My glutes are stretched almost to their max, right? And so when something is lengthened, you can fully strengthen it. It would be like if I were to do my bicep curl from here and do it here, but when it's all the way lengthened, I'm gonna get more out of it. So same thing, if I'm in almost like a 90-degree hinge. All right, Lindsay, how's that feel?
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah, I can feel it now, my glutes.
You're not muscling through the hip. Okay, and you feel that in your glutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
All right, so for key points for this one, girls, is pelvis or hips stay in alignment. So the tendency is for us to externally rotate, really close those hips. Hinge at the hips, like Suki pointed out. If you're too upright, you're not going to get as much out of it because the glutes muscle is going to be shortened rather than starting from a fully lengthened position. And then, of course, as Lindsay helped us discover, if the band is too tight, you're going to be muscling through it. And you don't want to muscle through it. We want to like bridge those muscle connections. Get the glutes to fire first, and then add movement, just like the pelvic floor. Contract, wrap the abdominals, squeeze the glute, then press.
Oh,
Okay. Question? Oh, okay.
oh, sorry. I thought I was muted. I'm like making noise. I'm so sorry.
All right, now I want to move on to hamstring stuff. So on the floor with your foam roller, or actually get your foam roller close by. Or my feet are a little farther away from my hips versus when you do glutes on the bench or the chair, your heels are underneath your knees. Feet a little farther so we can engage more hamstring.
Oh,
Everyone okay?
oh yeah. I just kicked my bench over by accident.
All right, you're gonna pull the pubic bone towards the belly button, posterior pelvic tilt, okay? And then slide those heels towards your shoulders where there's contact on the mat and feel those glutes. Now check in with your hips. The body likes to compensate and it will slide outward. If that's you, put a band, your roller, something in here so that those knees are in line with your pelvis. Knees in line with pelvis. And you feel your hamstrings.
What?
And then articulate back down.
About being snored.
Let's try that again. Exhale, lift, and you're not feeling this in your low back because you're engaging your glutes, and your transverse abdominals, you're pulling your pubic bone towards your belly button. And you can even just play with that, like dump your pelvis, pull your pelvis. And I promise you will feel those hamstrings turn on more when you pull your pubic bone towards your belly button. And try not to let those feet slide. Be active. Pull those heels towards you without moving. And you're just going to hold this for as long as you can, up to a minute, and break it down. Okay, if that felt doable, you're going to put your feet on your foam roller. If not, you stay right there and work up to that until you can get to a minute. Then we're going to add a layer of instability. Walk the foam roller out so that your feet are farther in front of your knees. Check in with those knees. They're not bowing outward. And just feel the difference. If you allow your knees to bow outward, you'll only be working that lateral head and you'll feel your external rotators tap on. But when those knees get neutral, now you're waking up your adductor and the medial portion of your hamstring. Pull the pubic bone towards the belly button. No pain or pressure restraint in your low back because everything right here is engaged and supported. Inhale, articulate back down. Woo!
So now when our feet are on the foam roller on that one, are we to also be like rolling the foam roller back towards our butt or just
Stabilizing.
Yes?
Not intentionally rolling it, just stabilizing. the natural tendency for the foam roller is for it to roll away from your body. So you're gonna have to engage enough to keep the foam roller from rolling.
Got it. Okay.
So it shouldn't actually be moving, but the tendency is for us to want to push out and compensate. You have to fight really hard with those hamstrings to keep it pulled where it is.
And the goal is to hold that for 1 full minute.
Yes.
Okay.
Or work up to it. You know, if you start at 10 seconds, be at 10 seconds and then rest. And then the goal is to like, okay, I want to try to get 15 seconds.
Yeah, 'cause that's more intense than your, yeah, it's like burning.
That makes sense. Then you add a layer of stability, it wakes up those stabilizing, sleepy, dormant muscles all the time. It's like when you're sick, your body calls for its fighters, right? It's like, okay, attack, attack, attack. When your body is feeling unstable, it wakes up all those other sleepy spindles of muscle and says, help, help, help. It would be like in the game of war. Do you want like more people on your team or less? Well, of course, we want more. To support our pelvic floor, we want all those little muscle fibers awake, alive, and active. All right, here's your progression. You got that. We're gonna move on to single leg, where you're gonna alternate those legs. So just like in that hip hinge or hip bridge. What the heck? Oh my god, I'm so sorry, you guys. I swear, having 4 kids makes me lose my freaking mind. Lift and switch.
Oh boy.
So pubic bone stays pulled. When there's movement, our bodies like to compensate to find other ways to support. We want to stay pretty neutral with our pelvis. Adductor supports, glute stacks, glute supports.
Yeah. I will.
That one's pretty hard.
Also,
That one's tough.
Yeah, that's good.
I was exhausted.
He's exhausted. Did you try your watermelon yet? Is it good?
If you start feeling that in your low back at all, does that mean you're just fatiguing out? Or
Yeah, it could be that couple things. It could be you're fatiguing because these are aggressive. These are big moves, okay? And it could be your body compensating, whereas you're not pulling that pubic bone towards your belly button and not putting yourself enough of a posterior pelvic tilt. Let me say something again so you're big on my screen. Let me watch you, Julie.
okay. All right, I'll try it. So you can see, hopefully you can see.
Yes, okay. Before you lift, pull the pubic bone towards the belly button. Okay, now keep pulling the pubic
When I
bone.
go to take my breath, I like let it out.
And as you add movement, keep pulling that pubic bone towards the belly button. What do you feel?
I start fatiguing like right here,
Okay, so
where I like have to let down or it's gonna start hurting.
so work up to that by working into those 1 minute intervals. Like work up to those 1 minute
Okay.
intervals before you progress to that single leg.
Okay, that's kind of like that, but
Good call. Good question. Where am I at? Okay, I'm gonna show you this other exercise. For now, you're gonna work into a deficit for those hamstrings. Don't get scared. Okay. And then a deficit, gathering more space, more range of motion. And I would still put a block in here because it's so easy for postpartum moms to want to fold out. But look how much this hinges. Look at this big length I'm getting from my hamstring. Pubic bone pull to the belly button. My gaze never changed. You could do this single leg. More stability.
You're so strong.
I know. I'm like, she makes it look so easy. There is no way
Yeah.
my knees would do
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Maybe after surgery on my knee. How high off of the ground, Cara, would you say that black box is? Is that like 16?
Oh.
Now I make you go get a measuring tape. I was just curious, like what I should be looking for to.
Yeah, I got one. Okay. I think. It looks like it's 12 and a half, maybe 12 without, because it's pretty cushioned. So 12.
Okay.
Okay.
Could you use could you just use yoga blocks? Although that would be pretty unstable, I guess, if it was like this, huh? With your foot on it.
Like your kid's step stool would be amazing.
Oh yeah, step stool. Perfect. Okay.
Wide, right? They're only 12 inches wide anyway. So I'd use a step stool or bench.
I think I have one.
Leg. Okay, I don't know why that wrapped up.
Do you want us to try that one, or are you just showing us the progression?
Try that one? Yeah, I didn't. Would you like to try that one? If you guys have something close by, or at least the negative one where you're.
Let's see if I have this. Oh yeah, I have a bench right here.
Oh yeah, Suki's got a great setup. She's got like 2 sofas facing.
But I don't know if I'm doing it right.
Can you move the phone so it can tilt down, because I can't see where your butt.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay. Yes. Okay. Move your gaze towards your belly button.
I think I might need more like space.
And I think your space is good. You could probably take the cushion off of your sofa and put your feet a little lower.
Oh, okay.
That will put a little less pressure on the back of your knees and transfer that work more into your hamstrings. So
Yeah.
you just got your kids tear apart your living room for tents. All right, Sarah, how's that feel?
Good.
Lindsay? Good, hamstring?
Yeah, I definitely feel it in my hamstrings. I was gonna say I can see how you would feel it in your lower back, but I think if you're like, I typically am like a, whatever you call it. Is it posterior when your butt's out?
Anterior when your butt's out, posterior.
Anterior. If I'm like that, which is my body's like comfort, then I'm gonna feel it in my lower back. But how you said to like tuck the pelvis under first, that definitely makes a difference. And then I don't drop so low either, then I don't feel it in my back.
Okay. Yeah. And keeping your gaze.
Yes.
Keep work support on your rib cage.
Is it okay? I mean, ideally, do you want my butt like almost nearly getting to the floor and then coming up? Or is it okay to like stop here?
Feel it the most is where you need to be.
Okay.
You feel it.
Without feeling pain in the back.
Without feeling pain in your back. Yeah, you should not feel pain or fatigue in your back. Julie, pull your pubic bone towards your belly button a little bit more. You should be in a little bit more of a posterior pelvic tilt.
Like that?
Ooh.
Yes. Yes. Okay. How's that feel?
Good. Much more supported in my back.
Okay. Yeah, it looks better. Keep pulling that pubic bone towards the belly button and your gaze is down. Yes, yes, yes. That's a nice looking step stool. Way to show us all up with our like.
I know, dang.
And Lindsay, yours looks good to me. Do you feel that in your glutes? I know or sorry, not your glutes, your hamstrings.
Yes. Yeah, that feels good.
Okay. We have 10 minutes left. I can show you some exercises that I have for next week, or we can talk about some things that are working or not working and offer support. What would you girls like to do?
I just had a question, only if it's not too much work, but I was watching your Instagram yesterday, and you know how you were saying 5 to 10 minutes makes a difference. sometimes when I put the videos on, I spend like 5 or 10 minutes, 15 minutes trying to figure out what should I do? What do I need? So is there anything where you already have like maybe videos recorded of like a 5 to 10 minute thing? So on the days that I know I don't have a lot of time to like search and I don't have like an hour, I can just go, okay, I'm just going to do that video. It's 10 minutes. That video is 10 minutes. That I don't have to like think about it. Because some days I have like an hour. So I can choose videos, but sometimes for me, I'm a better person that if I've got a flow to follow, I just copy the whole video rather than stop and start and pick.
Oh, that's a great. I don't have anything like that, but I can see how that would be really helpful and really valuable because I can see where there's lost time in like clicking it, waiting for it to load, and then listening to it, and then moving on to the next one. I can see how that can be really time consuming. I don't have anything like that, but I'm not opposed to doing something like that. I don't know what that would look like. Have you guys seen something like that?
Um,
That would be
have,
awesome.
Like a
I
like a bit of like each lesson in one thing to kind of make it like a workout video.
Yeah.
Like a single
Yeah.
workout.
Long workout.
They do
That
like
would be
four
amazing.
movements in 15 minutes
That
or
would be
something.
really helpful.
Yeah. So my yoga teacher sort of does it where she uploads like different lessons. I can send you my login to have a look at her library, but she does like different stuff. So sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm just going to do like some stuff on my pelvic floor or my shoulders are hurting. I'm just going to spend, so, but only if it's not too much work. I thought if I know I'm just doing 15 minutes, I log on and I just follow whatever you're doing. Just how you did it on your Instagram yesterday. Like if I just had that, I just would have copied it.
I was thinking the same
Stop
thing with your
and
post
start.
yesterday.
I stop and start because at your Zoom, I look at the video, I do what you say, and sometimes I'm like, okay, should I have done more reps? Should I have done less? But if you're just like doing it and I'm just copying you,
Okay.
that makes sense. I don't know. So I don't want to give you more work. You're already like have your hands full.
No, it feels like work for me because it's new, right? It's like you guys like during doing the exercises, you're like, oh my God, this is like a lot. But for me, it's like, no, I got this. But for me, it's just the habit of like laying the groundwork, right? But
Maybe record yourself when you're doing your workout, and then we can just.
Okay.
You don't have to actually even keep in the other videos. You have to talk a lot, but this one maybe you don't have to like talk as much. You can just like say, "This is what I'm doing next." I don't know. I don't know nothing.
Try it. So maybe if like we can take the pressure off for me, where it's just like a little less formal, and because those ones that I load, there's a lot of cuts, there's a lot of edits, there's like over, and it doesn't look like it's a lot of work, but I promise you,
No, it does look like
No, it looks like a
And they are extremely helpful. They're so helpful. Like to have you explaining it all is like that's good. I'm glad you have those up there though.
Yeah,
I love what I'm hearing you say. It's just something that's a little faster, a little more like we do it together, where the explanation is there and like the time stamp is there. So let's try it. I only have so much space on that website. I have like 3 hours max to upload stuff. So, and I think if I were to put it, let's try it. Let's just try one, and I'll see how much I can get. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because the bigger the file, or maybe I can have my husband put it on a YouTube.
You know what I think you could try to do, Cara, too? I was going to wait to bring this up till I see you later, but my friend has a fitness app, and he was saying if you have your videos pre-recorded, and ask Sean because he's like tech savvy. I don't know anything about this, but apparently you can like take videos and drop them into Chat GPT and say, create me a daily workout plan that's 15 minutes long using 30 seconds from each of these 10 videos or something, and then it'll like create it for you, and it creates the program, and then you can like upload that, and it would be 15 minutes. Like, this is your 15-minute program, ladies. Okay, if you have a little bit of extra time, this is your 30-minute program, and it's already stuff that you pre-recorded, so you don't have to record and edit another thing because Chat GPT will do it.
And yeah, spend some time explaining. But that's amazing. Let's try it, Suki. So I think what the best thing to do would be to like do like a workout on my own here, and then record it, and then have my husband probably put it up to YouTube. That way it's not taking up space.
Or you can just, if it's easier, you can just send it in our WhatsApp group to start with, and we can just play the video just while you're trialing it and stuff. So you're not like
It'll
do
only
too
let me
much
send 90
extra.
seconds at a time though in the WhatsApp.
It's what?
It'll only let me send 90-second videos at a time.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I had
No.
no idea.
But
Oh,
let's try
sorry.
it. This is great feedback. This is like one of the cool things about doing this is you guys we're paving the way together. While we're on that, one thing that will happen with this Rolodex of exercises that I'm building is I'll have to move those YouTube videos somewhere else because once I finish this, I'd like to be able to sell the program. And then in place of those videos, I'll probably have like a 2 to 3 minute like overview, pre-recorded overview of like what people will need and what the expectation are. Because I don't want your faces and your bodies, being sold for other people to whatever. But I know that it's valuable for you. Like you guys will have access to this for as long as I have the website, you guys will have access to the program. But
Can we?
I can't. It doesn't feel good to me to like sell the workshop or give the workshop to the people when it's like your faces and your bodies, right? So I will have to like either move those for you guys and replace them with like something else of like a 2 to 3 minute recorded voiceover of what to expect and like a quick little lesson. That way everyone has like an idea of what is to come and what's needed. So that's just something I want to like share and plant is where do they go yet? I don't know. Like right now they're just on YouTube. I'm not active on YouTube. I don't want to be active on YouTube, but I want you guys to have access to them too.
Can we download them onto a USB or no, you can't do that?
Sure, you could. I'm sure you could. Right?
Okay.
Let's see why not. The other thing that gets to be like a thing, and I don't know how to like iron this out. I think it's just kind of the nature of the industry, but like I know a lot of fitness accounts will have time capped logins. Like, okay, you have access to this for 6 months. You have access to this for a year. And I think that the reason why they do that is because things get shared, right? And then what happens is like when things get shared, the person isn't making money. And I see it now from a different perspective is like, I've had friends share stuff with me and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And it's such an easy gift, like you want to help a friend out here's my login, like, here you go. But at the same time, like someone for me who spent, almost hundreds of hours on this so far, it's a loss of potential income that I've taken a lot of time away from my family and other things to be able to create. And so, I don't think there's a way to regulate that other than just express to you guys to have a relationship with you that that's something that I recognize as a part of the industry, but just asking as a courtesy to recommend this rather than share it, because there was a lot of blood, sweat, and tears and time away from my family and my babies to make this.
Absolutely.
And I want to give you lifetime access because a lot of you are taking this class because you want another baby. And how cool would this be to like use this a year or two later and not have a time constraint on it? Well, you can use it in 6 months and you can use it up to a year, because I think that a lot of accounts do that because it prevents the sharing, or it puts a timeline, right? So anyways.
I totally get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It needs to be a referral thing instead of a like.
I know.
Sure.
It's such an easy, you want to help a friend out, here you go. And I get it. I've never purchased a program from anyone I've just never, I don't know. I've just always done my own thing. But I have had a friend be like, oh, check this out for, some other like, influencer, how to like grow whatever. And it's an easy share, but then it's like, I didn't give her money for it, so being in the other seat, I can feel I just have a different perspective now.
But sometimes people might be more invested if they're actually paying for it.
Well, that's the
100%.
I don't know if I might look at it, but might not be as like.
I went through Beachbody programs and that's what they would always say, of course.
Yeah.
But
my friend let me log in to look at some influencer account, and I was like, I never used it. I never did it because I didn't pay for it, right? I didn't gain any value from it. Yeah, because there's no skin in the game. Kind of like when I take a client, I don't take a client unless they pay for 10 sessions up front, because nobody's going to come. It's work to work out. It's uncomfortable. You're right. When you put money on the table, guess what happens?
You
show
turn up.
and when you show up, you get results. So, Suki, I'm so glad you said that because I love the idea and I want to put something up for you guys and maybe it can be something super casual and you guys can give me feedback on how to doctor it and make it look better. But I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it was just because of your Instagram yesterday. I was like, oh, if I could just get up and just do what she's just done with her baby right now, I probably would have spent 10 minutes to do it.
I was thinking that same thing because the way you recorded it for your reel yesterday, it was like fluid. And I'm like, oh, she literally spent, I mean, you can't upload. I don't think you can do a reel for 10 minutes, but like, if you literally, like Suki said, you just video yourself doing your like typical routine that you do and be like, this is my 10-minute routine. Try this and see if this feels good for your body. And then if we have enough access now from the videos that you've recorded and we know the other exercises, if we're trying the ones that you do that feel good for your body, and then we're like, wait, I need more in my hips or I'm tighter here, then we'll go back through and drop in other ones for ourselves. Does that make sense? That way it doesn't have to overwhelm you and it's not like a whole extra thing that you have to edit or make it fancy. Just like video your 10-minute routine that you do every day or what you would recommend.
You know, I love it because it keeps it casual, keeps it low key. You guys have asked for it, so there's no like super duper high expectations. I love it. So I want to do that for you. And you're right. I could do a live, but then you can't like pause it and record it. So we could do it with you. I mean, so to speak, it wouldn't be like this. You're already recorded it, but it's like, oh, okay, I'm going to do this movement until she stops. And then I'm going to do the next movement until she stops. That way it's like, I know how long to do it or how many reps or whatever. But Suki, you're totally right. I did that video and I recorded it and then it took more time probably because I had to cut it and edit it and add text. I couldn't just like.
Yeah, but we don't see that side, innit? I just look at it going, oh my God, that just looks so good. I wish I could just like get up and do it. And like my brain will just tell me what to do next. But maybe in a year's time, it might be different. But sometimes I just don't know how to go to the next part. Like I just can't flow it.
I was going to say, I think as a mom, for me anyway, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, I feel like every child I added to my family and every like task or like sporting event or whatever I added, I used to be able to put myself through a good workout. I feel like I've reached capacity of mental load. I like have to have someone telling me what to do or it's not happening because I don't even have the wherewithal to tell myself what to do anymore.
Yeah.
With that. I can with my other skill set. Like your fitness is your skill set, Cara. So like you get in your gym and you like put your fitness hat on, you're like, I know what to do. But like, and I can do that with hair all day. But like fitness, I'm like, if someone's not Sarah, do 10 reps of this, do that. I'm just like, okay, I'm going to do my dishes and then I'm going to do 10 crunches and I'm going to call it a day.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I love it. I love the idea. I love the feedback, and this is like a safe group and a safe space where like if it's not perfect, I don't feel like you guys are like, Cara, you couldn't say the right word again. So yeah, I'll get that. I would love to do that. So next time I am in here, I'll just hit record and I'll send a group message when I do it. I'll probably say Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks for suggesting. Thanks for planning.
Yeah, sorry, I don't want to give you more work to do though. Like
you're planting seeds and they're ideas. They're great. Lindsay gave me a great idea a couple weeks ago and I'm still like trying to feed it. She's like, you should have a membership where we can join you for like live workouts 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
My gosh, I would join that.
My yoga teacher does that. We pay like monthly and she does like 3 lives in the week. And then she has recorded libraries that we can just go on any time of the week and just pick whatever we want to do. And we just pay her monthly. And then, yeah.
That's so cool.
Absolutely.
And what do you pay?
I pay her, it's like £25, which is probably like $30, $35 a month that she charges. Yeah. She does like 3 lives for an hour of like a somatic yoga session. And then she's got loads of old content recorded on her. Like, I don't know how she does it. We log into it and she has like libraries of just uploaded of different types of stuff you might want to do. So if your hips are too tight, you're on your period or you're going through this or your shoulders are hurting, your neck, you just pick. And then she's got like a little course you just follow for like however long you want to do it for.
That's so cool. Yeah, that would be amazing. That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing. I just bought that Better Me app. I think I was telling you, and I paid like $32.99 for 30 workouts, and they're 30 minutes each or 20 minutes each, and they're all like mat Pilates. But I would rather do it with you, with like specific to postpartum, because I've done Pilates in the past, and I feel like you've already taught me so much more than in like what I've done before. So like literally you just have it uploaded, like Suki was saying, and you just pick and choose what you're going to do for the day. Like one could be 10 minutes, one could be 30 minutes, one could be 45 minutes. And then it's like, what do I have time to do for today? That's the one I'm going to click and choose. I would pay monthly all day for that, access to that.
They're so great. So you guys feel like I'm helping you. I feel like you're helping me. Seriously. I love you girls.
Oh, we love you too.
I'm gonna run though. My next client, she's usually late, but I got to set up for her.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Cara.
Thanks,
Thank
you
you.
guys. Good work
Bye,
today.
thanks.
Bye.